What's up, gamers? Neosquad here. Welcome and welcome back to a Let's Try of Quasimorph. Just released its 1.0 yesterday as of this recording. Apologies, this is technically not a Let's Try. I do have about 20 hours in this game, of which was pre 1.0, so I'm a little familiar with it. This game has a lot of depth, a lot of content, so I'm by far an expert. But what is this game? I'd call this a turn-based tactical combat game. There's dungeon crawling and diving in instance dungeons. I would say it's most familiar if you're used to games such as XCOM or the old school Fallouts. Probably the old school Fallouts are a better comparison, since this is a 2D game. So let me get into a new game so I can show you everything that's going on here. We are going to start a normal game. I will do one thing. I'm going to customize, turn off the tutorial, and then start the game.
The history of humanity is written in tears and blood. Liars, tyrants, idealists, they all tried to bring happiness on the edge of a sword. We waited for liberation from the shackles of fate, and were ready to go through the last judgment for it. Not for the glorious death for the eternal kingdom, love, or the Lord, but for a way to step off the path of suffering. But when the apocalypse came, we shrugged our shoulders and started profiting from it as usual. The creatures lurking in the depths of space didn't seem scarier than our own world. Armed with the hope that the darkest hour comes before dawn, we try to survive until the first rays of the sun.
So let's see. Good morning, boss. Let's first restore memory after the Diapause. During the Ancom mission on Venus, we awakened a Quasimorph named uh Texlon. I'm not good with like Aztec words, but that is the boss of the Quasimorphs. Unexpectedly, the Quasimorphs are still in our world. The Quasimorphs are essentially demons brought about by the apocalypse. We are currently orbiting Phobos. Supplies on our spacecraft are running low. Let's find contracts. I'm gonna click stock market there in the bottom left because that menu pauses time. If you are not in a menu, then time does not pause and you cannot get around that. These are different stations or colonies. Let's first go to our spaceship though. HIS Magnum. We can upgrade the Magnum. We can manage our inventory and our operators. You see there's all these different locations. There's a plus here on supply, meaning we can go upgrade it. And I will upgrade with the conveyor. I could technically sell the welding machine, but honestly being able to produce stuff is more useful. And these are the tech trees for each location. Navigation, engineering. And you can see there are 3 large installations on each location. These allow you to do things. These other ones that lead up to them are modifiers that you can get along the way. Always remember, N is back. N is back. N is back. Not escape. N is back. We got the conveyor. I can already start to put stuff in. And look, there's a lot of things that I can produce just off the bat. Different ammunitions, basic weapons, a lot of kits, medical supplies, food. Chick Chick and Moo Moo are made purely out of plastic. Feels very appropriate for a post-apocalyptic deathscape. Some basic armor and gear down here. But right now, I will start production on 2 medkits. We can check out our operators. I do believe these are always the same. Francis Reed Daly, Victoria, Percy, and Isabella. I think these are standard. And you start with the Scouts of Hades and Eclipse Blade. There's a lot of classes. You can find chips to learn them. But these are my clones. Normal difficulty. If they die, they come back in 3 days. You'll lose implants and you'll lose the equipment that they had on them. I don't think clones lose their experience in their class, though. Then cargo hold. We can obviously sort the cargo. And here's weapons, armors, medical and food, and then just 3 generic cargo holds. But with that brief introduction of the ship, let's back out. Stock market. The stock market is a list of all of the corporations. There are regular corporations, and then if you look down here, there are market participants, which are minor corporations. The number here, initially it looks like how much they like you. Really, that's their relative power to each other. Every single faction has an independent reputation level with you that will go up and down based on who you do missions for. This top one is the Quasimorphs. The Quasimorphs are the big bad you eventually want to get rid of, and by helping certain corporations, you'll be able to gain enough strength to challenge them. Also, there's a lot of lore in here. If, say, Church of Revelation, if I click on info, there's a lot of info about all of these. Check out their technology level, get an idea of who you may want to support. Let's jump into a mission. Now, oddly enough, I don't have any missions on Phobos. I will go into the map. None on Deimos either. Let's check Mars. It is paused while I'm looking at the star map, which is nice. So when I hover over this mission here with the skull, it shows the symbols of the 2 people in contest for this orbital city. The left is the assaulter, the right is the defender, and there are 4 floors. Floors are important because, like any good dungeon crawl, you have to go down in levels. Usually the bottom level has what you are looking for, but also the more floors are, you probably want to bring food because your operator may starve to death. Here, I would do the 2 skull on Ancom escort with 2 floors compared to the 5 skull French comp, although the French comp gives much higher reward. But let's start traveling there. Nice little animations here. Leave Phobos, go to Mars. Ooh. And then this 6th hierarch. I don't know how often he comes, but he does give interesting text. I believe it's always randomized, though. You can pause if you want to read this. I will just continue. And there are now a lot more missions. Again, press the stock market to pause. I don't know why there isn't just a spacebar to pause so you can look this over. I think I would still start with the Ancom because it is the easiest one. This 2 skull. Let's head over to the orbital city Enlightenment. So it always puts you on the offensive side first. I'm going to change sides and do this 2-floor escort. We'll select operators. So we have Francis here who has more health, a decent 30% dodge chance. The last 2 are unique to the person. Francis specifically gets bonus weapon durability and negative weapon weight. Here, there's +2 weapon range, which is huge, and minus enemy attention span. So you're more of like a sniper, Victoria. Percy here, huge resistance, and bonus melee damage per 10 kilograms he's holding. Holding weight, the biggest difference that I've learned is it lowers your dodge chance. So he, with his 150 health, just wants to put on heavy plate armor and just run around bashing skulls. Not a bad way to go. And then Isabella here ignores infections and gains bonus damage while missing health. That's an interesting one. I think I'll stick with Francis here. We can select a class. Francis will be a range character. Eclipse Blade relies on mostly melee for their skills. This top middle one is their unique. So there's the weapon durability and equipped weapon weight. I'll give you Scout of Hades. All damage bonus. A successful attack on the player activates the trigger. So if I get hit, I gain bonus damage for a while. But yeah, most of these have a trigger. Like this one, killing activates a bonus crit chance. But it has to be a kill with an SMG, shotgun, or assault rifle. So the class is very important for the character. There are implants, augmentations, and implants. Augmentations replace body parts. You gotta remember those cybernetic body parts require different healing items. Implants are installed in your biological limbs. Implants do not change what you need to heal because you still have an organic body part. I do not have any of those right now. I pressed escape instead of N. See? But I will start with some equipment as well. You'll find that you gain a lot of equipment inside the missions. And on harder difficulties, you may only have one weapon or none. First, I'm going to go to armor. So I'm going to hold control and left click to just throw equipment on. I don't want the metal armor jacket. That's a little too intense. So like that. The backpack here gives me a second row. There are backpacks that give a third or fourth row. And really, that's the most important thing. And then this tactical vest gave me another vest slot. As you see, it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8 vest slots. Sort this. I'll grab one weapon. Now, I don't really need all of these items. I can actually get most of the items during the mission. Just to show you, I will drop off these pants. I really don't need all this stuff. And I'll grab a weapon. Probably the 9mm pistol. Although, if I remember Scout of Hades, SMGs, shotguns, and assault rifles. So perhaps I start with a shotgun or an SMG. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Bring out a nice little shotgun here. SMG is very nice and very powerful, but the accuracy is going to be so low. I'm going to grab the shotgun. And this uses 12 gauge buckshot, not 12 gauge slugs. I'm going to put my buckshot on the vest. Some vests improve your reload speed, which this specific shotgun is a semi-auto, requires 4 AP to reload. Normally you have 2 AP, you can be sneaking, which only gives you 1 AP per turn, or sprinting, which gives 3. They affect accuracy. When you're sprinting, you can't reload or open doors. Let's get into this first mission. Normal shotguns take 1 AP to reload, but only reload 1 slug at a time. This one takes 4 AP, but would reload all 10 at once. Here we are in the map. you can right click for free to look around. That does not require any of the wall AP. In the top left is our weapon, our current reloaded ammo, the type of ammo in it, and then there's almost always separate fire modes. Usually for weapons, the secondary fire mode is some kind of burst or rapid fire that lowers accuracy but puts more bullets down range for an action point. Down in the bottom left is your hunger meter, your pain, your health, the movement type you're in. You can go to stealth, walking, or running. Normally, I'm almost always in walking. Right now, all I can really see are these explosive barrels. Not interested in the gasoline. So let's just left click around. One piece of advice. I have 1 AP left here. I'm going to press spacebar to wait my turn and then open the door. Opening the door takes 1 action point. So if I open the door and there was a person right here, they might see me and immediately shoot me. By waiting and regaining the AP on the next turn, I then get the first shot. Just a small optimization. Like this. I opened, and can I even hit them? Not really. I'm going to back up to here. Waiting a few turns just with spacebar. Okay. They are not interested. But you are close enough that I can get full damage on you, and there's nothing between us. If I shot at him, the person between us would probably die anyway. And then there's this container in the way. You can shoot over something that you're directly next to. Otherwise, a lot of things in the world will block you. I'll put a shot down range. It also highlights the health bar with the anticipated damage. Oh, you moved. This cooler is still in the way. I'm gonna move in. Now that I'm right next to the cooler, it no longer blocks my shots. That was a crit right there. And you see this perk is triggering, activating my crit chance because I'm killing with the shotgun, which is a requirement of the perk. A lot of these storage containers are empty. As you get used to the game, you can tell just by the graphics, all these containers are empty. They have different graphics when they have items in them. So I will do a reload, and now it's 4 time slots. So if I press spacebar to wait, or if I walk around, you can reload while walking. Left click on a corpse to search it, and here we are. See, like I could already have my control left click. I already have pants. Wasn't that hard to find them. If you go into them, every item has their different condition and stats. For now, I'm going to disassemble all those things. All I got was a single rag. If you hover over items here, you'll see the bottom 2 things are the item weight, or more importantly, there's a list of items. Say I go onto my Taiga here, there's a spring, a weapon part, and plastic. Those are the items I can use to repair this. Most clothes use rags. These synthetic Hyper pants use plastics. This rag here, it can stabilize piercing and lacerations. So it can be used for medical. But then there's this repairs, plus 25, minus 15. Say if I use that on... Gosh, what's an easy one? Here we go. The tactical backpack. Has 100 out of 100 condition. Eventually it'll take some damage. If I use this, it would repair 25 points of damage, but then that 100 max would be reduced by 15 down to 85. So eventually these things will get worn out, even if you're repairing them. One last thing here, you notice on this corpse, you can actually look at the body. Sure, you can see what injuries they had, which is interesting, but if they have any implants or augmentations, and you have a blade melee weapon, you can essentially disassemble bodies. Hopefully, I get to show you that. See this little dot over the person? You have an actuator. You have a robotic digger. The digger is interesting because you cannot use a weapon. I'm not sure how they were even able to hold this metal pipe. I will take it though. But I need a bladed weapon to try and take that augment off. I'll have to remember you and come back. And here we have some plastics that can help stabilize blunt injuries like contusions. It's also used to repair a lot of things. And if you are not biological, but you are a... Oh, this is only humans and Quasimorphs. That does not work on biotics. Here's a rotten food. Here we go. Here's some gringos. Got some food here to repair my fullness. If you run out, I believe you start just ticking health down really fast. I can press T for mission control. Get to floor 4. Oh no, it's a search and destroy. I forgot when you back out and go back in, it defaults you to the attacking corporation. Auto dock there. It doesn't look like it has any power. If it did, it would help you heal up. There we go. This medical printer. Orthopedic cast. If I had 4 plastics, I currently only have 3. I could print out orthopedic casts, which stabilize wounds and 100% heal plus 8 per turn regen. It's actually really strong. And if I can get a bunch of plastics, I will do that. So I am not working for the people I intended. I'm actually going to take this rotten meat. It is a key component for antibiotics as you're producing them. Oh, I just got shot in the face. I'm going to press H for my healing. All right, I got a contusion on my shoulder. It is self-healing. There's a lot of different types of fractures. This is just a contusion. It will go away on its own. If I wanted, I could still apply the plastic. It's almost like a temporary makeshift cast or splint. But I don't believe I need it right now. Right now, I have to deal with these people. Let's do a burst fire. Yep, I knew I'd hit that person. Second burst would hit you. And you are a little too far away. I'm going to go here. There we go. And I will take you out. I don't see anyone else. Let's do a reload. Search the 2 bodies stacked here. I'll grab the ammo. A Silent Eagle. When I hold Alt here, it does have backup gun, which gives increased crit chance to my other weapons. Ah, but here's the knife I need. And I believe, unless there are equipment pieces I want, I'll just disassemble. Oops, did not mean to grab it. I meant to unload it. This Umbra is better pants, but its condition is 2 of 52. I could throw a rag at it, but then it loses 15 of the 52 max. I don't think it's worth it. And now with this knife, I can actually, if I want to, just to show you guys, I'll go back to the corpse. I am healing over time. Your body does naturally heal. Well, let's look. Where is... It's not you. You? It's you. Now, because I have this knife in one of my weapon slots, I believe I can just left click. So both of them failed. If they were successful on the floor, I would have the actual component that I was trying to take off them. Both failed. Not the end of the world. You still get some trash parts. Kinda hoping for those augments, but is what it is. So now decisions have to start being made. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna keep the knife, grab a backup Hydra pistol, which uses 9mm. 9mm is very common. You could start grabbing armor pieces to bring home with you. But right now I'm happy with this. Another auto dock here. It has 0 charge, so it wouldn't be able to heal me if I wanted. Oh, some nice meds. Morphine is good. Stabilizes wounds, heals all wounds, negative pain, and Quasimorphosis. Sure, there's drug addiction. You can handle that in other ways. So, in the bottom right here, where it says abstentia, the Quasimorphosis will not go up if it's in abstentia. Certain places, especially higher difficulties, this will affect, and later on in the game, the demons will start to essentially just come into the world and mess things up. If you're on something like elimination, you can use a tactic where you intentionally increase Quasimorphosis to make demons start to spawn, and just chill in a corner waiting for a spawned demon to kill your target. I'm gonna drop the rotten meat and just grab the morphine directly. Sorbent's nice because it helps with infection, poisoning, and alcoholism. But do I want to drop something? I'm going to throw my spring into this tactical pistol because I do have the bandwidth on the condition, and it opens up a slot for the sorbent. And you see this looks like it's closed, so there's something in it. I'm going to drop that to the floor, and now that it is open, which shows you that that inventory item is empty. So is this container over here is open, which means that it's empty. Why would I have a room like that behind the med bay? Oh, I clicked way over here. It stopped my movement because I saw this person. I'm going to go there, hide behind the auto dock. There's glass in the way. So he is shooting just straight through the glass. I'm going to double tap him with the burst fire. First one will hit the glass. Second should hit him. Ooh. He looks like he bled out there. Right. So I could reload, but reloading takes 4 AP. Instead, I'm going to press S, switch over to my pistol. I'll start tapping him with the pistol. He bled out. I'll take the chance to reload everything. Good stuff. I survived another fight. So cigarettes are really good at reducing Quasimorphosis. really important later in the game. Take those instead of the tin can. And then there's another medication that can reduce nicotine addiction. And later on in the game, I like to use just those two and alternate what I'm using depending on where I'm at. Is there anything here? These are not bad. This here helps with burns and cold damage. A good med. I do have the room in my hunger to eat the gringos. I can take that med. We'll disassemble stuff, get more plastics and rags. Go this corpse. If I was on a harder difficulty, I would drop something for the 797s. I'm going to disassemble them. I had no room, so what I disassembled went onto the floor. Keep moving on. A Silent Eagle. It uses .42 bullets, which I do have some of. 9mm is far more common, as was buckshot. 18 to 22, 16 to 24, so it's about the same damage. Let's press S to swap weapons. Swapping weapons back and forth is free. Reloads faster. Has a silencer. If I was going silent mode, I would definitely take that. A powder here. If say I don't need these .42s, which I don't right now. I'll disassemble it and I'll get powder. Powder's used to create bullets on your ship in the conveyor. Let's move on. What I really need to do is finish this mission. There's the elevator. Head on down. Usually elevators just have one other floor. It's a dungeon crawl. They treat them like stairs. ST, let's see. We still need to get to floor 4. I didn't even mean to click evac there. Oh. Yes. I'm gonna switch back over to the shotgun. Single fire. You can right click on enemies and see what they have. You're just using your fist. You have a gun. I'm gonna shoot you. And then take you out. Oh, I forgot to turn around. Luckily, he missed. Normally, left click will search. If I control click, I can then just move there. I'll double tap him. And I'll start reloading. Check equipment, disassemble. I am full on rags. I don't want to use more than one row for that though. Alright, alcohol package. Luxury goods, worth a lot. I would like this. To the point where I'm going to start dropping stuff to gain valuable things. This regular clothes is actually important for upgrades on the ship itself. I definitely want that. I want to get rid of... kind of a hard choice. I'm going to get rid of the spring. I forgot to disassemble. And whatever I can grab, I grab. Disassemble. We'll disassemble that for some more powder. A lot of these auto docks. This auto dock does have charge, so you can heal or heal all wounds. If you have batteries, you can then charge it. Naxalone gets rid of a lot of addictions. Important if you're going to be using morphine. A scientific good, I want you. You can drink blood bags to gain a lot of regen. Increases Quasimorph. Alright, I'm going to get rid of the claw here. Take you. I will take the Naxalone. Seems I'm just filling up on meds here. I wish I could find somewhere to... Not the maintenance station, a manufacturing station. I could then create a duffel bag, which would give me a third row. Right, the maintenance station can repair stuff without losing max repair. So like this tactical backpack, as I was saying, has a negative 60% to the load weight of everything in it. A duffel bag would actually increase load weight but give me a third row. Inventory is the hardest thing to come by in this game. There was a person that showed up down here. I will burst fire to hit both one at a time. We will check them out. I don't have room for the moo anywhere but in my stomach, so I'll eat that right away. And 80 of 80 is the max stack size. I'm going to start using my pistol a little more because I have so much ammo. Yeah, let's just burst fire him. Awkward. Thankfully he died. Unload. I'm pretty happy with this Hydra. This Gallon does look better. It can only hold 9 bullets as opposed to my 17. And this has knockback where that does not. However, it reloads faster and does more damage. If I find one that's not in terrible condition like this, I will take it. But for right now, I'll just start disassembling everything I can and move on. There's a lot of explosive barrels in here. I am really glad I did not fight in there. Explosive barrels have a surprisingly large range, so expect to probably die, if not take serious damage. Ooh, okay, so there's valuable data here. It could give me experience for one of many skills, depending on what my class is. Some of these are also needed to unlock things, but I will just use this. Something in this locker. A little helmet. We will just disassemble it. Alright, we're going down. So here, the lamp here is for robotics. If you have cyborg parts, you will need this to heal. Management unit. And another Banewide game. If I could take them, I would. Well, I don't even know what I would do without. I guess I'll drop the wire. And then do I really want to drop meds at this point? I don't need the cigarettes right now. So I'll drop those. And we shall go down to the next floor. Alright, final floor of this mission. Let's get this done so we can give final thoughts and opinions. Press T. Search and destroy the target of the manager. So once I find the manager, I can call for evac. Evac is usually just go to an elevator. Oh, hey, buddy. Sure, I have a deep piercing wound. Damage per move. So whenever I move, I'm going to take damage. And whenever I use an action, I'll take damage as well. So I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to go right to my shotgun, burst fire, take you out. I will walk there. Whoa, there's a lot of people there. What are you? Augur, oppressor, augur. Oh my. So mission control, was that the... That was the person who just ran up on me. My mission is complete. I could call for evac right now. Go to health. This is a deep wound. Let's apply a rag to it to try and stop the bleeding. Kill you. Ow. And I'm dead. Oh no. So my mission was accomplished. I do get the payout because it was an elimination and I did complete my mission. So I do not get all the stuff I looted, all that medical equipment, all those goods. I do not get. I do get a care package from French Comp because I helped them. Get a lot of slugs. I got a shotgun that uses 12 gauge slugs instead of buckshot. And 3 stacks of 50. I got a bunch of canned food, drugs. Always nice to just get drugs, right? Stun grenade. So that actually, if I go to spacecraft, is a good example. Looking at the operators. Cloning in progress. On normal difficulty, he'll just reclone. I believe he'll have the class information that he had from before the mission, but not the levels he gained during the mission he died. It is nice that I did get the payout and the goods from that. My final thoughts on this game. I think this is a really fun game. It has a lot of potential. There's a lot of things you unlock, a lot of progression in it. If you like dungeon crawls, like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, or really just roguelikes, you will like this. If you like the old Fallout games, you're going to really like this game. Or if you enjoy stuff like XCOM, it plays a lot like XCOM, but with one operator instead of multiple. This level, I like to think of Battletech for doing upgrades and stuff on your ship itself. It's a nice little touch. And it is cool that all of these corporations, they have their own ideals. You can just pick ones that match ideals you want to play if you want to role play, or you can just try and keep them up with the Quasimorphs so that they can equip you. I usually pick a few of these to bring up to the top, say screw the rest of them, and have a handful that will help me through the game. But overall, really loving this game, having a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this first look at Quasimorph. If you want to pick up the game, it's on Steam right now and it's 1.0 launch. I will have a link down in the description. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All that helps me out a ton. You can also check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/neosquad. I stream most nights starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. And finally, if you're interested in interacting with me, have any suggestions or comments, check out my Discord. Link is also in the description. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later.